Welcome back to ChromeIllusion.com. I'm Stephen Burns, and we're going to continue on with our tutorial. And we've already selected the sky. I'm using a channel and creating a mask. And make sure you see the first part of this presentation, which is going to take you through that process. Let's go ahead and zoom in close here. And I'm holding the Option or the Alt key down along with my space bar to zoom in. As you can see along the edges here, you can see a little bit of the white sky, and that's the result of the mask. I'll hold the Shift key and click on the mask, and we can see some of the sky is spilling through just a little bit. All I'm going to do is apply a little bit of soften those edges a little bit. We're going to do that using a Gaussian blur. I don't want that much of a blur. As you can see right here, it's a little too much of a blur. So I'm just wanting just a slight blur to add some mid-tone information in there. Once that's done, I'm going to apply a levels command directly to the mask. So here's applying it directly to the mask. You can see here in the histogram that obviously we have no midtones there, or at least very few midtones. And if I pull this to the left, you can see the whites are getting stronger, and if I pull it to the right, we're getting rid of those edges. Okay, that's a nice clean selection for the sky. Alright, so then we have the sky in the background, and we won't do anything quite yet to the sky just yet. So let's go and start applying our perspective guides. I'm going to use this scene as the basis of applying our architecture that we're going to place over here to the side. The architecture is going to be this particular scene here was shot with a different lens, and obviously from a different perspective. So I want to make sure that this building matches the perspective of this particular scene. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go create a brand new layer, and I'm going to turn my foreground color to red. And I'm going to take my mouse, actually the brush, bring it down real small. I hit the B key just to make sure that my brush size, my paintbrush is selected. And I'm going to apply a thin line that's going to come all the way across. That's going to be the beginning of my perspective grid. All I'm going to do is hit the V key, hold the Alt or Option command, which is going to give me the double arrow to duplicate this, and hold the Shift key at the same time, and that will duplicate and allow me to constrain this to go straight down vertically without it moving left to right. So I'm just clicking several of these, bring it around all the way down to the bottom, and that's done. Now, as you can see here, it's created a bunch of layers. That's quite fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to select them all and merge them into one layer. Okay. Now, once done, let's go ahead and just push this up. And you can hold the Shift key to do that. And I'm going to duplicate the layer, Command J. And all I'm going to do is hold the Shift key just to bring it straight down and adjust this layer so it's going to be a continuation of the other perspective grids. Now once again, I'm going to select both of them and merge them together and start to apply our grid. Now the whole idea is, look at the lines in these buildings here that's coming out toward us, especially the lines in the sidewalk. All of these, if you take a ruler and you match these lines, are going to actually become or intersect with a perspective point or a vanishing point somewhere right in here. So this is really more of a single point perspective type of a scene. So I'm going to quickly match that, and let's go ahead and I'm going to hit the Tab key so it makes all this go away, makes it easier for you to see. I'm going to hit the Command T for free transform, and let's bring it down. As you can see here, there we are. And you can see why I added that extra lines there, because I'm going to apply perspective. I'm holding down the Control Option or Control Alt Shift or the Command Option Shift, and I'm going to do the best I can, getting as close as I can to match the perspective of the scene. Okay, let's bring it on over, and let's bring this down a little bit if we have to. And what the Control Alt Shift does is it gives you the perspective command. Let's bring that on here. Let's bring this up slightly. Now I'm going to hold the Command key by itself, which is the shortcut for distort, while you're in free transform. And I can just shift each of these points so that we're going to get as close as we can to the perspective of this thing there. Okay, we're getting really close here. So let's bring this on up. There we are. Look at the lines here. They don't have to be exactly parallel, just approximate. Okay, because your lines are never parallel in the perspective anyway. They're all going to merge together in here. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this one. And there it is. That's pretty close. That's going to be our perspective guide. So anything that we create that's going to match this architecture should match these guides. And I'm going to go hit enter. They commit our changes, and since we're only going to work on the right hand side, I'm only going to do it for the right hand side here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this portion, the second video of creating perspectives as well as compositing. And if you want to know a little bit more about who I am, please go to ChromeIllusion.com and feel free to take a look at the free tutorials there, and also go to my books and take a look at my latest book, which is going to be the Photoshop CS5 Triggering Effects. Okay, we'll see you next for the tutorial number 3. This is Stephen Burns.